and welcome back to Bear's Reading Nook. I'm Kara, and today we're going to be talking about the 22 books that I want to read in 2022. Now, these are in no particular order. These are just books that I would like to read this year. So let's get started with the first one. And that would be the second collection of the Orange books. And I read the first collection, I believe, in December, and I really want to get to the second part and just see what ends up happening because I really enjoyed the first one. So this follows the main character of Naho, or at least that's how I've been saying it, who receives a letter from her future self basically telling her that unless she does something, a classmate will no longer be there within the next year. And I've really enjoyed the first one, like I said, and I want to know what happens. Next is the complete poems of John Keats. So this is a book that I got when I went to Scotland and England, like 2017, and I have yet to read it. And I really would like to get to it. It's nice as a souvenir, but I would really like to actually read it. I read some of his poetry in a class, and I really liked what I read, and so I'd like to get more poetry that I hopefully will like. So, I Am King is the next book, and this follows a 10-year-old prince who has lived in relative peace, knowing that one day he must claim the crown of his homeland, and basically he ends up getting joined on his adventure by various people who are working to help him reclaim the crown. And it sounds like an awesome adventure-y type story, and I'm really excited for it. Next is Secret Magic. I've talked about this one a lot. This is one that I'm really excited for, and hopefully I'll get to it within the next few months because I really, really, really want to read it. I just, for whatever reason, have yet to pick it up, but I definitely want to. Next will be City of Secrets. So this is a graphic novel that I borrowed from a friend and have yet to read. This, I don't really know anything about it other than it looks steampunky and it looks cool, and I like the art style of it. But yeah, I'm excited to read this and then, actually give it back to my friend because I've had it for a good few months at least. Next is They Called Us Enemy, which is a graphic memoir about the author's time in a Japanese prison camp during World War II. So, definitely a harder topic to read, but I randomly saw this at some point and it sounded really interesting, and now I'm gonna read it. Next is I think this might be the complete series, but it's the Nameless City, the Stone Heart, and the Divided Earth, which I believe is the entire Nameless City trilogy, I want to say. And it's a graphic novel series that I also borrowed from a friend and have yet to read. I don't know much about it, but I'm interested to read them and get them back to my friend. And the way that this is working is each individual book counts as one of the books, towards the 22. Next is... So I only have book 2 here, but I put both book 2 and book 3 of the Fair Isle Trilogy on my list. I read the first book, I think, last year, and I really want to read the rest of the trilogy, and so book 2 and book 3 are on this list as well. This is like a fantasy romance. I think was getting more political at the end of the first book, so I'm wondering if this will be more political plotline, but I'm interested to see what happens in the rest of this trilogy. So next is Emma. This is again one that I picked up when I was in Scotland and England. I've had it for a good bit and I just want to get around to reading it. Next would be, this is gonna sound a little weird, but the last 3 books in the Expanse series. I'm currently, as of recording this, working on book 1, so I would have like a good 5 books to read before getting to the last 3, but since I've read or watched this show, the last 3 books aren't covered by the show, but the others are, and so it's a different kind of story arc. And also, my husband has read like all the books, and he really liked the last 3, and so I want to see what about like that storyline, what about those 3 books made him like them the most. Next, okay, so I didn't realize that this actually came out, and it came out last year, so, but I read a book, I believe, last year with, my, like, friends that I do the book club with, and, we all really enjoyed, the Obsidian Tower, and we were talking recently and realized that the sequel to it, which is the Quicksilver Court, I believe, I'll put a picture up of it, is out, and I really want to read it. I'm so excited for this, and I really want to read that book. Okay, so next is a chunky one, and that would be The Count of Monte Cristo. For some reason, I just feel like reading it this year. It may take a bit, but I'm really interested in reading it for whatever reason, so that is on this list. So there's a series that I've heard it described as Napoleon but dragons. And that just sounds fantastic, and that would be the like Tamaraire series, and so the first book in that series is on this list. And the Tamaraire series is again a series that my husband has actually read and really enjoyed. And so I want to read it and see if I like it, how it is and stuff like that. I did like read a tiny bit of the first book, and there's definitely gonna be like, it's gonna be one that will take me a little bit more, like a little bit longer to get through, just because of some of the like writing and, like lingo, because there's some ship wording and stuff in there, and I don't read a lot of like ship books. But I'm excited to try it out and see how I like it. Okay, next is Kings of the Wild. This seems like a group of people, kind of like a band getting back together kind of thing, of like mercenaries who are like older and out of the game, but due to something, they kind of go on a mission that people would be dumb to go on kind of thing, and it just sounds fantastic, and I really want to read it. So that's on this list as well. Also, I've been trying to read Fruits Basket, but every time I go to the library, they don't have the first one, which is the one I need. So the first volume of Fruits Basket is on this list as well, as is the first volume of, I don't know if it's actually Liar's Game or something else, but like, there's a manga that's like an Alice in Wonderland, but weird and intriguing, and I think it's called Liar's Game. I'll put what I'm talking about up there, but like, I've never read Alice in Wonderland, but I'm excited by this premise and intrigued by the weirdness, so I'm gonna try it. And the last book on this list is Merciful Crow. This is a fantasy of sorts that I have been wanting to read for a little bit, and I'm just deciding that it's one of the 22. Like, all of these books on this list are either ones that I own and really want to get to, or am just in the mood to read in general. So I hope I can get to them this year, and I'm excited about it. So I will see you guys next time in the Bear's Nook. Bye!